How is it going, you lovely lot? Welcome back to Park to Prem, and have I got a Christmas treat for you? It's episode number 40, and today, it's the end of season number 5. Yes, that is right, there are 3 games remaining in the season for us: Middlesbrough, Oxford, Sunderland. And as for who we're competing against to end the year, one team really, Bournemouth. They are currently second, 3 points ahead of us. It's a bit annoying, really. I can show you the league table, and I can show you the remaining games to the promotion hopefuls. I can't show you both at once. But you can see here the games that I mentioned. Our end to the season, not easy by any means. Both Oxford and Sunderland, decent little teams. As for Bournemouth, really, I think if anyone's going to do me a favour, it's probably going to be Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, and in some more news, I've signed a goalkeeper. Yeah, that's right. I've signed a goalkeeper in April. We'll talk about him right after the intro. This is my Christmas present to the Wanderers fans. A day early, Josh Griffiths is joining us. Yeah, I'll be honest, he's not the craziest goalkeeper in the world, but obviously at the moment, Jack Wint is our second choice in on loan. I need a long-term succession plan for Wint, and I'll be honest, I've signed Josh Griffiths primarily because he was available for £35,000. Yeah, £35,000 for an English goalkeeper this good. I'll be honest, obviously Harry Evans has been our first choice goalkeeper this year. I think there's a pretty compelling argument to suggest that Josh Griffiths is potentially better. We've signed him from Motherwell for really cheap. No idea why he was available for so cheap. We are not going to complain. And in terms of matches since you were last here, I did play 2 of our final kind of end of season running games. The first against Burnley, 0-0 draw. Of course, Andy White not available for this game, not allowed to play against his parent club. Safe to say we missed him. That result there was frustrating because as we drew 0-0, Bournemouth managed to win 4-2. But in the most recent match week, we beat Bristol City 4-0. Great result there. Bournemouth drew against QPR down in 16th. Shout out to Queen's Park Rangers. As for our game, really good performance against Bristol City. Having not scored against Burnley, it was good to thrash 4 goals past the Bristol-based club. And Rashid Mohammed picked up man of the match yet again. He and Andy White have been the 2 strikers in form to end the year. Marcus Sheldon, not been so good, finds himself on the bench. Also, he's now wanted by 15 clubs. You know what? We'll worry about this next summer. I say that like it's a distant memory away. No, next summer could be as soon as well, the next couple of episodes, because today we're ending the year. I'm hoping that maybe by some miracle we can pip Bournemouth to second. If that doesn't happen, my Christmas gift to you is going to be the playoffs. And I'm not really looking forward to the playoffs, especially because Burnley we could end up playing. And if we get drawn against them, obviously Andy White can't play against them. But you know what? We are just going to stay in our own lane for now. There's 3 games left of the year. If we win all 3, there is no guarantee that we get promoted automatically at least. Although we have already guaranteed our spot in the playoffs. Plan for attack for today's games is to win them and see if we can push Bournemouth to the end. If with a game to spare, we can't catch them, I think we'll play a rotated B team. Have a showing of the kids, you know, a bit of a parade before the official end of season. I think that'll be a nice opportunity at the end of the year just to, you know, play a rotated team ahead of the playoffs. In terms of team news for today's game, it is a team that is pretty much what I consider right now our best 11. You might notice that means that Tammy Ajaria, not on the bench. I'll be honest, he has not been all that consistent since he's come back from his injury. To be fair, in his last few games, he's had some better performances, but a lot of his rating has been bumped up via clean sheets, whereas Pinto, a right wing-back, not quite as good defensively, I think it's safe to say, but from a providing point of view, this man's been a lot better going forward for us. And I think against Middlesbrough today, who are right down towards the bottom of the table, probably having our best attacking talent on the pitch is the name of the game. Like I mentioned, Sheldon on the bench as of late means Mohammed and White play up top alongside one another. In terms of the rest of the team, Amari Hutchinson finally back from injury. I'm hoping he can rekindle some of his great form that he had at one point this year in this end of season running. You can see against Bristol City, 2 assists for the man. Would like him to get a few more today. It's a weird situation to be in, really, because we've been so good this year, but if I'm being completely honest, this second half of the year has really put me off the idea of going up into the Premier League. I don't feel like we're ready for it necessarily, but given where we are absolutely going to go for it. I feel like, in all honesty, our best shot at promotion is automatically. I think if it goes to the playoffs, I don't necessarily back us. I know I said that a bit last year. Obviously, there's a big gulfing class between ourselves and even the other teams in the playoffs this year. The likes of Birmingham and Burnley especially have really good squads. With that in mind, our goal difference is better than Bournemouth's. So if they lose one game and we win all our games, well, we finish above them. Of course, the crucial thing there is we have to win, they have to slip up, and Middlesbrough have scored inside 2 minutes. That is not the optimal start today. Vincente with the free kick, whipped in it, hit the woodwork. Evans didn't get close to it, and then it just falls to Finch. who volleys it straight down the middle into the open goal. That's an annoying goal to concede. Not the ideal start to this game, but the good news is we're not crumbling immediately. Admittedly, we've not really created enough in this game. We're not having a lot of the ball. I mentioned last episode how I have experimented with just switching to positive mentality at times of late. And occasionally it works and occasionally it backfires. Given the fact we've not yet had a shot, if nothing amounts from this chance here that we're creating, maybe we need to look at shifting mentalities early. Flood whips in though, and you know what? We're not going to touch things, although maybe we will. The flag's raised. Oh, do I change things now? I was really talking myself into it. You know what? I am going to go to a positive mentality here. I want to just see if we can have a little bit more of the ball in this game as well. In terms of instructions, I'm going to ask the players to play it out from the back and in transition. I mean, we've already got it set to distribute to centre-backs. I suppose it can go to the wing-backs as well here. But yeah, Middlesbrough, so far, have got their noses ahead. They've not really done a great deal in this game, I think it's safe to say. Then again, obviously, plenty of football to be played, and I suppose the impetus is on us to go out there and try and create something. We are now the team chasing this game. Got to make changes accordingly. Hamilton lays it back to Lenihan. Hernandez now on the far side, gives it to Vicente. Nice little tackle there by Rashid Mohammed, working back to win the ball nicely. Having got the ball, though, we're just now knocking it around the back. Ramsey, this is nice. You know what? Rashid started this. He's been hacked down there, but Hutchinson, Amari, picks it up and puts it in the back of the net. You know what? If he's going to come into form, this would be a good time. Everyone is celebrating. Rashid's injured on the floor. I hope he's okay. He started that attack by winning the ball back. We knocked it around the back for like a good minute, sprung a quick attack forward, and it was Amari Hutchinson, who you expect to cross, spanking that ball into the bottom corner. Rashid's not showing like an injury marker next to his name, so I think he is going to be okay, bless him. He just wanted some attention from the physio. He just wanted a bottle of water bringing to him. And, well, at 1-1, suddenly this game maybe takes on a slightly different complexion. Although, wait, Middlesbrough have got Hour in their midfield. Sorry, what universe is this? Vicente is going to square it to Hour. That is actually the Hour. You know, the former Leon Wonderkid, hero of Leon Live. Remember that save game on YouTube? Some of you do. OGs remember Leon Live. What is he doing playing for Middlesbrough? I know his career trajectory's been an interesting one in recent years. He's popped up here with a goal to give them the lead. I need to see how good he is. I mean, with respect, he's joined them on £28,000. He is a very good player for that kind of fee. He went to Saudi Arabia and he's just come back to Middlesbrough. He's not even done that well in the Championship, actually. I mean, that's a blast from the past. He is a good player in Football Manager, or at least he was a few years ago. I'm not sure about now. I'll be honest, this has not been a high-quality game of football. There's been 4 shots on target so far and 3 goals. There's 5 minutes left to the half. It'd be amazing if we could draw level before the break, but in all honesty, this is a game we have to win. We need to win. And Andy White, well, he kept one header down and it was offside. That one, sadly, has gone over. Amari Hutchinson, this is a free kick from range. He's not going to shoot from there, but that is a sexy little move and a sexy little goal. Is Andy White onside? He is onside. That one's going to count. I really wish the set-piece creator in Football Manager enabled you to come up with set plays like this. Until that's a thing, I'm going to hope that my players in the match engine are intelligent to spot opportunities like that. That finish there, the little dink was nice. How close was this to being offside? You know what? Wasn't even that close. Okay, break comes here 2-2. I'll be honest, not a classic by any means. Far too many goals for the amount of opportunities created, but we are not going to complain. Defensively, we've not looked good in this game. Going forward, we've been clinical. Don't feel like we're necessarily dominating the midfield battle. Ramsey at centre attacking mid is struggling yet again in this game. That has been a common trend, I feel like, in the second half of the year. And well, suddenly 15 minutes is played in the second half in the blink of an eye. And right as I'm contemplating changes, well, we could maybe create something because Dolky's cutting inside. The defensive midfielder, I mean, I'll be honest, never expected him to score from there. Not surprised he's kicked it straight at the keeper. Pinto's not had the best game at right back. You know what? Fresh-legged Ajaria, on you come. Elsewhere, Ramsey's been poor at centre attacking mid. I'm going to bring in JB at centre attacking mid. He's not played this position all that often this year, but I feel like at the moment in time, Geldhard's been poor. Darko's been playing a fair amount lately. He is Matt Sharp. I'm going to put faith in him. You know what? I brought Joe Geldhard on, didn't I, against Liverpool, and he missed the penalty. I'm still holding that against him, I think. JJ, Flood, Edmondson. Back to JJ, stepping out from the back. Lays it wide to Pinto, who's about to come off the pitch. Can the right back deliver something late? To the byline, he floats it. Rashid is under it. He heads it. He scores it. Do I have to cancel my subs now? I think I do. I'm going to have to keep Pinto on. He just got an assist. Aaron Ramsey can still come off. I mean, do I want to make more changes in this game? I feel like Pinto wasn't playing well until then, and I probably should still take him off, but I'm going to give him a chance. You know what? Flood's not been at his best. I'm going to have to shuffle things around a little more than I wanted to here. I think Geldhard is actually coming on. I'm going to play JB at deep line playmaker and bring in Geldhard. You know what? That goal really has made me reconsider my decisions. I was just looking at the fact that Flood hasn't really been in form lately. He's not done a great deal in this game. I feel like I should make 2 changes to bring in some fresh legs, and maybe the midfield is a good place to target with that. Expecting our Middlesbrough to go on the offensive a little bit more, chasing this game as the home team. Maybe that can open up some opportunities on the break with the fresh legs that we've got. Although, or maybe we won't get a chance at a break. Or maybe we will. Okay, you know what? The set piece whipped in there had me, well, quivering a little. Was not comfortable watching, but we've dealt with it. And now JB doing exactly what I want to see him doing as the sub. Bringing the ball forward, using his fresh legs. He gives it to Amari Hutchinson. Crosses it to Pinto, who was due to come off the pitch before he got that prior assist. Maybe I'm going to regret not taking him off here as he's been smoked by Auer. Auer is not that quick. Why are we showing him so much respect? Hamilton through the middle for them, skips past one, could pull the trigger, does pull the trigger. Off target, fortunately for us. Andy White to whip in the corner, back post. Edmondson is under it. Edmondson is there. It's 4-2. Everyone breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. We're not there yet, but with 24 minutes left, a couple of goals have changed this game. Andy White whipping in the ball. Edmondson, captain fantastic there. No one on the post to prevent that going in, and a nice little header. Middlesbrough have changed their shape now, chasing this game, maybe a little bit desperately, but we're not going to change our game. I feel like the changes we've made have worked so far. Then again, if we concede one, maybe I have to reconsider things. That is blocked. And it goes out for a corner. That's a little reminder. Middlesbrough are not done yet. I've just noticed Coventry have equalised against Bournemouth. It's in the bottom left by my head. Editing Jack, show it for the people. If he remembers. Sometimes he misses stuff like that. Coventry 1, Bournemouth 1. Imagine. Go to the around the ground. Show me it. Where is it? It's 1-1. I mean, a draw is kind of nice. It doesn't change things all that much. I really need Coventry to win if they can. As things stand, Bournemouth would still be ahead of us. And you know what? Maybe I should not worry about Bournemouth because it's still 4-3 in this game. There's still football to be played. Not the best at defending, I think it's safe to say here. Garcia back to the throw-in taker. Whip to the back stick. Evans not covering himself in glory there, is he, the goalkeeper? I'm going to go to a balanced mentality here to try and just see out this game. We don't need to look for a lapse. We don't need to pass into space anymore. Lower the tempo, shorten the passing. Want to keep us playing it out through the back, just because I feel like that's a good way of, well, just holding on to the ball and trying to dominate possession for what remains of this game. It's 50-50. With 5 minutes left. I now want to see the possession swinging in our favour if we can. There's 7 minutes of added time here. Please just get to the end of the game, Football Manager. I'm begging you. I'm staring in the top left. Time continues to go. That was not comfortable in the slightest, but you know what? I think we did deserve the win. Rashid Mohammed, 2 assists and a goal. That is another Man of the Match award for this guy. I'll tell you what, when he broke his foot, I did question, is that going to make it look like the transfer was a waste of money? We spent £4 million on him as a reminder. That is not chump change. That was massive for him. But look what happened in the Coventry-Bournemouth game. Vale, with a 91st minute goal, his first goal of the season. And it means that Bournemouth get a win. Oh, that's actually gutting. Coventry down in 19th nearly did me a favour. This is what I get for hating on them this season, isn't it? Norwich, by the way, officially crowned champions there of the championship. Norwich, the most yo-yo-y team in the world, continuing to yo and yo in this universe is actually crazy. As for ourselves, this next game may be the toughest to end the year, although the last 2 are difficult. But Oxford and then Sunderland. Oxford are in 4th all of a sudden. Granted, they are so far behind us. We are guaranteed 3rd place ahead of them. A win against them would be nice. I've still got Sunderland to play as well. These last 2 games of the season are horrible. This next one's in a week. I'm going to rest up the players. We're taking on Frank Lampard's Oxford. Let's see how we get on. Okay, folks, game number 2 today, but some exciting news, I think, perhaps. We have an affiliate club. It's not a sexy affiliate club with respect to Woking, but I took on board some of the comments you guys said last episode when I was showing off some of the youth players about the potential maybe to loan out more players. figured maybe an affiliate would be a good way to go about finding a place to get players on loan. Woking, who are firmly planted in mid-table in the National League, were the best of the bunch in terms of teams recommended towards us. They actually finished 7 points away from the drop, so I think they're a well-established at this point National League team, and I feel like they are going to be a decent little club to loan some players to. So we have this affiliation in agreement where we can send players to them on loan. We pay them a little bit of money, but it might just provide an opportunity for us to loan out some of our better potential youngsters and get them regular football. But as lovely as that all is, that's not what we need to worry about right now. What we need to worry about right now is this. We are taking on Oxford today. A defeat here and a win for Bournemouth would mean going into the last game, we have no chance of the title. Goal difference is in our favour. We just need Bournemouth to lose and we just need to win. Stoke City, please do me a favour. Please. I'm not begging them, but I kind of am begging them. In terms of our team news heading into this game, I'm going to make a little change in the final third. I'm going to play Mohamed and Sheldon alongside one another. Andy White, going to be given a little bit of a rest. He is the kind of player that I feel like as an impact sub could be great, but equally as we approach this crunch point in the year, I'm keen to ensure that I don't have any unhappy players, especially in the final third. Sheldon's listed as a key player. Rashid Mohamed's listed as a key player. Andy White's listed as an important player, and, well, Andy White has missed a game or two here and there, but compared to Sheldon, who's been making a lot more sub-appearances lately, I kind of need to give Marcus the game. The last thing I want right now is players coming to me unhappy. Speaking of which, Ajaria kicked up a stink midweek, said he was unhappy, wanted a new contract. I can't really afford to give him a new contract at the moment. Despite our little FA Cup run, of which we did get about £1 million for the result against Liverpool, finances are still not great. We don't have that much wage budget surplus. So at least for now, Tammy's got to wait. And to be fair, based off last game where Pinto got an assist, why would I want to change things there? The team on the whole wasn't perfect against Middlesbrough, but there was lots of reason for positivity. This game here is going to be a tall order, I fear, against Oxford. We're taking on them. We are the home team. I am going to approach this game, I think, with the cautious mentality. Given their league position, I'm kind of expecting them to play on the front foot, maybe play a quite attacking brand of football. Trying to hit teams on the break, I think, has always been where we've excelled at our very best this year. Of course, as we saw last game, if we do need to change things, we can still do that. Right, third versus fourth, I feel like at any point in a save game is nervy, but with all the marbles on the line and trying to hunt down Bournemouth, it matters all the more. Of course, we know we could win these next two games. It might not be enough. The bottling that we've had in the second half of the year, and I'm hesitant to call it a bottling, but definitely the downturn in form has sucked. What really is important now is to win these games. Even if Bournemouth go on to win their last two games, finishing with a good end to the year could be really good for morale heading into the playoffs. That could be vital. And while I'm a little bit nervous that we've got a kick-off highlight here, where Oxford are knocking the ball around with some confidence, and but for an Evans save, almost certainly would have taken the lead there. I thought our highlight after 1 minute was pain. We now got a highlight inside the second minute of this game. Rodriguez playing inside to Anderson. Oxford are on the attack again here. What are we doing? Blum cuts through. He chips the keeper. That is an outrageous goal. That's his second goal of the season, and that's the finish. Sorry, what? I mean, this goal hit, where does Blum come from? Flood, wake up, Flood. What is he doing? He's drowning out there. And that finish is outrageous. He dinks Evans, who I can't blame the goalkeeper there, can I? He saved our Baker once. He can't do it twice. And now we're straight into another kickoff highlight. What is happening in this game? Are we on full match by mistake? We're not. We are still on key highlights. Right, Pinto. Let's respond immediately. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Dolk. JJ. Right centre-back, leaves it wide to Pinto. This is okay, bit of possession. We like this. We didn't see this in the first two highlights, really. JJ to Edmondson. Lots of space on the left-hand side for Hutchinson. Space on the right-hand side, to be fair, for the right wing-back as well, if the right pass can be picked out. Mbete gives it to Amari. Our left wing-back in shining armour gives it to Ramsey. And that's an outrageous save. Less than 10 minutes played in this game. Hesitant to make too many reactive changes too soon, having gone, obviously, a goal down early on. It's actually been a very even game. We have a higher XG for what it's worth, and where we are creating more here. Hutchinson, Sheldon, Dolk, Pinto. Kevin Pinto might just have ousted Ajaria out the first team. What is that? Brought the right back in because he's been in some good form. I was not expecting these kind of performances from him. He's got an assist last game. He's now got a goal in this game here, the right wing back. Really nice finish too. Halfway through this first half, 1-1. I was kind of hoping this would be a slightly different game to the one against Middlesbrough. It feels like it could be equally as cagey and equally decided by the finer margins. Sheldon, Dolk shoots. Hits the crossbar from there. What is that? It was an outrageous effort on goal that sadly couldn't tip in, and yet there's going to be more action to end this off. Rodriguez is now bringing it forward for Oxford. This has been a relentless experience of a match. And that shot was not far wide. It nearly went out for a throw-in, but it still wasn't far wide. It was a very acute angle. 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half are going to come and go. It is 1-1 in this game here. Bournemouth still 0-0 in their game. They've missed a penalty. I don't want to get my hopes up. Obviously, they were drawing against Coventry last game, and they went on to win in the last minute. In terms of our team, Rashid Mohammad's been poor in this game. You know what? I feel like this is the kind of game now where Andy White is destined to come on and make an impact. Carl Flood, by the way, having another stinky performance. He has not been good since January. And it upsets me to say that. The main man in Andy White is on, the main character of this story. I need him to write in another chapter of excellence. I'm going to encourage the players here, get some green, happy, smiley faces going. It's not been a game with a load of opportunities in this second half. And XG for either team, not actually all that high for all the action we've seen. The finishing lacking from either team. But maybe it's just going to take one moment, one finish of brilliance to decide this game here. Evans, wide to Mbete. We're at that 60-minute mark where I do tend to consider changes. And much like I did last game, obviously we had a goal scored at the 60th minute. Is that going to happen again here as I'm contemplating changes? This time I'm not going to make the changes before we know what's going on. Well, Oxford, they're playing with fire a little bit here, playing it around the back. They're forcing us to chase the ball, but they're not really getting the ball forward with a whole lot of purpose. And well, Hutchinson latches onto that, the number 24, 3 players in the middle to aim for. Andy White is one of them. He is a big, meaty man, and he's there to grab a goal. Maybe I shouldn't drop him for the rest of the games to end this year. It is 2-1. I think it was last episode or the episode before, I was discussing the fact that in 4 months, Amari Hutchinson had 1 assist. He has found some form to end the year. Not a bad time to go about finding it too. I am going to make a few changes here. Carl Flood, off you come. JB, on you come. Ramsey's been poor again. Geldhard is really the only option I have to bring on there. At centre-back, JJ's not been great. I'm going to bring in Will Fish to play at right centre-back for us. You might have noticed throughout this year, I've not really made that many subs when it comes to our defence during matches. Firstly, I don't really like changing the defence anyway, but also I just don't love our backup options to the same level that our kind of main 3 centre-backs I adore. I feel like Mbete, Edmondson, JJ is a really good setup there. Obviously, in this kind of game here, I am going to bring in Fish, who really probably actually should be the man in the middle of the defence, given the fact he's not the best ball player in the world. Edmondson can definitely do that job for us. But really, this is now just about seeing out this game. There's 2 minutes left. It's 2-1. We don't need any more highlights, and yet Football Manager has not got the memo and wants to deliver. Although if we're getting another goal, that could be fun. Andy White's in hot pursuit of a loose pass. He's not going to get it, and now it's with Cumming to try and make something happen. Blum, the goal scorer for them, as a reminder, their right back. That was still an outrageous finish that I'm not yet over. Good news for us, he's nowhere near our goal right now. And well, Oxford, they've been playing this passing out from the back style, but so many of the chances we've created have kind of come from them self-inflicting and hurting themselves in confusion. And yet, saying all of that, they have a chance that is saved by Evans. That is another massive save. I think it might have been a hero as well as a previous park to Prem, Mason Burstow, who was their attacker there, who missed the opportunity. Maybe he remembers that in an alternative Football Manager universe, in a park to Prem save game, he was the hero. Is he any good? Is he good? He's not that good, is he? 3 minutes of added time here. 1 minute remain. I've not looked on the Bournemouth game. I'll be honest, I've been so preoccupied with getting the result here. I daren't look over and see what our neighbours are doing. Latest scores on the doors. They lost. They lost. Stoke City, you are babes. Oh my word. We're in second going into the final day. Stoke City. Stoke. I love Stoke. Buckley scored in the 82nd minute a penalty. My hero. I mean, the worst thing is now I'm starting to believe, and the thing that scares me about this more than anything is We're up to second, don't get me wrong. That's great. We take on Sunderland in our next game. Sunderland have everything to play for. They are desperate to secure a playoff spot. Bournemouth away against Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, we've been given the lifeline we needed. I can't believe Stoke have done it for me. Bournemouth missed a penalty in this game. Stoke scored a penalty in this game. Look at the stats. Expertly shit-housed by Stoke. Sorry, Mum, if you're watching. I didn't mean to swear. Jaria facing uncertain future at Wanderers after out. Can he just do one? This is now not the time to be kicking up a stink about a new contract, mate. What it is the time for is to buckle up, try and calm down. I need to fill up my tankard of water. I need more water from my Football Manager cup. The stress is getting to me. We've got one game left of the year. We're in second. We are one match away from the Premier League. That would be one hell of a Christmas present. I'll level with you, going into things today, I didn't really expect Bournemouth to slip up. I thought if they slipped up, our games weren't going to be easy, especially the first two. And I was kind of sat thinking, well, maybe this last game we'll play the kids. We'll finish third. We can celebrate that. No, that's not what we're doing today. We have a chance to get promoted to the Premier League. It's within our grasp. Goal difference is so far in our favour that a win here is all that we have to do. Bournemouth have to win. Well, no, they don't. They have to draw if we lose. But really, they are going to be viewing it as a must-win game for them. We just have to do the same. Sunderland, though, in 6th. I'll be honest, it's not the simplest of games. Last year, they finished 4th in the Championship. The year before that, they finished 5th. This year, they're 6th in the Championship. They have Javi Serrano here as their key man. They have got some real quality. And we have some real quality too. We should not forget that going into this game. Sadly, some of it's not available. Carl Flood and Ramsey have both picked up little injuries here that just leave me a little uncomfortable about starting them. The last thing I want in this game is to be forced into early changes. I'm going to have them on the bench, can potentially look to bring them on in the final third if we're chasing a game. Up top, Andy White starting alongside Rashid Mohammed. We are picking the team based off form, just like we have with other positions like Kevin Pinto at right back, who in his last 4 games has been a standout player for us. Of course, with the 2 players I've mentioned, Flood and Ramsey out, JB and Matos are in the team at centre mid. 2 players who, if we would just wind the clock back, joined us in League 2. JB had a great season in League 2. Matos, he's been a bit in and out of the team, especially over the last couple of years, but he's still been a vital player for us. I think I said at one point, they could be 2 of my midfielders in the Championship. They could today be 2 of my midfielders propelling us towards the Premier League. The rest of the team is unchanged. We had a nice week's rest. I hope we're ready for things today. In the first 2 games today, we've conceded the first goal and had to fight back from behind. We've shown some real grit and determination in turning around fixtures. Ideally, we don't go behind in this game here. I think of all the games we've had, Sunderland probably are the best. I know they're behind Oxford technically in the league table, but they do have a lot of quality. Okay, I am actually nervous for this. This feels like an absolutely massive game. We literally have the Premier League kind of, potential in this squad in our grips. It's in our hands at everything here. And yet, 20 minutes into this game nearly, nothing is happening. Around the grounds, just checking. Bournemouth are still 0-0 in their game. First highlight of this match. It's been a long time coming. JJ is the man with it, giving it to Edmondson, who's going to step out and give it to Dolk. Mbete now. Lots of space on the left-hand side for Amari Hutchinson here to try and make something happen. The left wing-back going wide, lays it back to Dolk. Nice play there. He whips in. White is under it, and Andy White scores. It's 1-0. Is less than half an hour played. Dolk whips the ball in on his right foot. Andy White is under it. And how many back post headers have we seen that man win over the years? I'm losing count of them. That is another one for the scrapbook there. I will admit that was our first shot of the game. We've not been superb in this game. But then again, you know what? Sunderland haven't created a great deal either. I'm going to make some changes here just to try and control the ball a little bit more. I'm going to stay on the cautious mentality, but I just want us to play the ball out from the back a little bit. We're having not a great deal of the ball, which is fine. I suppose if Sunderland aren't creating anything, but I'd much rather have the ball and limit their ability to hurt us. Half-time is here already. This has been anything but a classic. You know what? It doesn't need to be a classic today. We're doing well, lads. We can do better. Sunderland have to do something different in this second half. Maybe they're going to look to do something different here. Conan leaves it for Caballero, who's going to lay it all the way back to Good at the back. Is that Angus going to go for them? I'm going to assume it is. Clara to Missouri. Serrano. I identified him as the key player. They have knocked the ball around really nicely here. Crompton has players in the middle to aim for. They've hit the post and we've managed to get it away from danger. This is still a 1-goal game. We have to remain switched on. I'm going to make some subs here. I'm going to bring in Sheldon. I'm going to bring in Ramsey. And I think I'm going to bring in Flood as well. I know I said these players were kind of injured and I didn't want to start them. I feel like they could be the difference in terms of trying to get over the line in this game here. And, well, if they get slightly worse injuries now, not the end of the world. There's no more games left of the season if we win here. Also bringing in Wallace for Hutchinson at left back. I feel like we just need fresh legs in this game here to try and see things out. 13 minutes remain. This has been an awful game, if we're being real. It has not been a classic game of football by any means whatsoever. Edmondson, JJ, Dolk lays it wide to Pinto, the right back, who's been a man of the moment, it has to be said, to end the year. Finds himself in a wide area. His cross is blocked. It falls to Ramsey. His shot hits the post. It falls to Wallace. He shoots. Flood shoots. We're piling up the pressure, but we just can't find that all-important goal. I've got one last sub in this game here. Edmondson, he might be our captain. He is struggling in this game. Will Fish on at centre-back. That's 5 changes made. I've done everything I can in this game. Sunderland have not yet had, well, a shot in the second half. They've had one shot for a .01 XG, but it is still a 1-goal game. We have been superb defensively. They're, of course, now going to roll the dice and, well, come on the front foot. We've brought in some fresh legs in an attempt to see out this game. Why am I getting nervous? Essay with the ball. Lays it wide to Rodgers. He gives it to Will Hughes in the middle. He dinks it forward. Bozanic is through. Bozanic scores. Is he offside? He's offside. The flag is raised. Sunderland's joy is short-lived. And yet the resulting offside free kick is going to be a replay. I don't need this, Football Manager. I really don't need this level of unnecessary stress. Wallace, White is offside there, isn't he? There's no way he's onside there. Yeah, he's not. For a moment, I started to believe. He looked so far off. I mean, how many yards? 10? 10? 20? What is he doing? He's forgotten the offside rule. Not long left in this game. I'm going to lower the tempo, up the time wasting. Lads, just see this game out. There is not long left here. 4 minutes and counting. Sunderland are going more attacking. They've got 5 minutes of added time to muster up a goal. They cannot muster up a goal. Or can they? No, Romario. Guns forward for them. Their goalkeeper is forward. We've given away a penalty. No, not like this. I don't know what the score is in the Bournemouth game. It's the last kick of the game. Angus Gunn, their goalkeeper, I think, won the penalty. Bozanic was denied by the offside flag. They've scored. They've scored. It's 1-1. Not like this. I don't know what the Bournemouth score is. Bournemouth have to have won. A draw isn't enough for them. I can't believe it. I don't know if this is awful or not so bad because Bournemouth haven't won. It's 1-1. I don't know what the score was elsewhere. I don't know what happened. Latest scores. They lost. Sheffield Wednesday have won. Oh my, we nearly bottled it in the most spectacular fashion ever. That could have been absolutely horrific. I'm actually lost for words. I don't know what to... We're going up. We definitely don't deserve it based on the second half of the year. We go up by 1 point. That was, I'll be frank with you, that was the worst 20 seconds of my life waiting to find out if Bournemouth had won or not. Sheffield Wednesday won and went ahead of Sunderland, by the way, with that goal. Absolute madness to end the year. I'll be honest, I never thought I was going to be reading this message at the end of this season. Wanderers promoted to the Premier League. How have we done that? Genuinely, how have we done that? The board set the budgets, the wage budget's going through the roof, the transfer budget isn't all that impressive. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm absolutely terrified for what the Premier League season is going to be like. We are potentially going to get stuffed. But, you know what? They mocked me for playing on cautious mentality. No one's mocking me anymore. I look like a revolutionary. I mean, I guess tomorrow for Christmas Day, we're doing a transfer special. In my head, I was prepared for the playoffs. I can't believe what's happened today. Bournemouth have bottled it. They've lost 2 of their last 3 games. I mean, in terms of ends to a season, definitely one of the most stressful. I can't believe we got it done. I can't believe we got it done. Like, as a refresher, our media prediction this year was 21st. Even with the updated preview, like, we're down in 16th here. I think we were a little bit higher at some point. We do not have the quality of teams around us. But somehow, someway, we managed to grind out results. The worst thing is I've been given £26 million. That's not even enough to actually be able to afford to buy Andy White, is it? He's got a non-promotion release clause of £29 million. I've got an option to buy him at £41 million. Are Burnley promoted? Burnley? Oh, Burnley finished 10th. They were in the playoffs and bottled it massively, and I didn't even realise. Somehow, some way, I've got to try and get Andy home next year. The issue is he's on £81,000. I'm not going to be able to afford that, which is absolutely mental to say. Our wage budget in the Premier League is £376,000. That's like two. So, you know what? For some teams, that's one key player. We will have £375,000 to spend on our entire squad. For context, Rico Lewis in this universe is on £650,000. He's on literally twice as much as my wage budget. We're not ready for the Premier League. I am actually a bit worried. Expectations for next year, attempt to avoid relegation. That does make me hopeful that if I do get relegated, they won't sack me, which might be good. Also, informational objectives. They want to build a new stadium. I'm all about that. Apparently it's in progress. Wait, did I miss an inbox item? I've not seen anything about a stadium. Are we building a stadium? This is news to me. It says it's in progress, but we're not being told about it yet. It might be in one continues time. I mean, I thought this year in the Championship was going to be tough. I have to find a new goalkeeper for the Premier League. I really, really have to. I told the players that it's going to be tough next year and we're probably going to come back down, and they've actually reacted positively. I think that might be a first time ever. Also, why is Ajaria crying and Aaron Ramsey happy? I don't even know what's going on. Tammy, stop being a diva. The squad will be back on the 26th of June. I am going to be back inevitably sooner than that, because I've got to try and get this team ready for the Premier League. Also, I really want to sign Andy White. I really want Andy White. Does he want to join us? He wants 32 to 38 million, 70,000 to 95,000 pounds a week. I could probably afford that, but he wants a 42 million pound release clause. You know what? This is future Jack's problem. I'm looking through this squad genuinely. There's not many players here that I would consider Premier League quality. In fact, is there anyone I'd consider Premier League quality? I mean, Andy White is obviously a yes. Carl Flood, probably Premier League ready. Our staff think he's Premier League ready. I mean, suddenly Amari Hutchinson on £15,000 a week doesn't seem that unreasonable, although whether or not he's going to be quite as effective as a wing-back in the Premier League, I don't know. I don't know if you can tell by the kind of off-the-rails, all-over-the-place end to today's video. I didn't really expect to be in the situation we're in. I mean, it can continue now, just in case. The stadium's going to be built. We're looking for investors. We're looking for a site. It's going to take a long time. Okay, well, we'll wait for that. Also, we're installing undersoil heating for £2 million. We're in debt. It's a good job we're going to have Premier League money, isn't it? Our facilities have been downgraded as well. I will probably look to upgrade them. That might be the kind of thing where we do it once the Premier League money starts to come in. Okay, well, tomorrow, Christmas Day, my treat for you is going to be a transfer special. I guess that was not what I was expecting. It's what I'm going to deliver. I hope you're okay with that, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you're loving the series, leave a comment, show some support. Leave a like if you really enjoyed it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Wanderers are in the Premier League, and we nearly bottled it in the worst fashion ever. I'm going to go lie down.